Everybody, wholesalers, what's going on? I want to let you know about a superpower that I don't think a lot of you guys are tapping into. You know why? Because I didn't really tap into it until much later into my real estate investing career. But I want you to know about it, and I want you to know how to use it so you can freaking crush it, okay? Because not a lot of people talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it. So, wholesalers, if you want to know about a superpower that we all can tap into, stay with me. I promise it's worth it. I drew a lot of stuff. I wrote a lot of stuff. I prepared it. So I think it's going to be worth your time. Okay, so let's talk about this superpower. What do you think it is? Let's dive in. Is reading books. Reading books is the superpower. I promise you. Don't stop the video and just say, hey, Nate, I don't care about reading books. Look, I was there with you. I didn't like reading books back in the day. I could barely pay attention for more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I put the book down. I would go text. I do the other stuff. But I'm telling you, reading books will unleash something inside of you that like you didn't even know existed. I promise. So stick with me. Okay. So reading books is the superpower. So what you read, everybody, what you read is what you become. If you fill your mind with thoughts of like other people's thoughts that they've spent their whole lives trying to master, whether that's sales, whether that's negotiation, whether that's business, you can get all the information you need if you just study what other people have mastered. Okay. So if you feel like you're not good at talking to people, there's books on that. If you feel like you're not good at business or running, spreadsheets or finances, there's books on that. Okay. So let me explain to you guys what you can do to unleash the superpower. Because for me, I was like, man, okay, so you want me to just read a book from start to finish and that's it? But I got more for you. All right. So here are some tips for you guys on how to remember what you read, because that's kind of the problem here, right? Is not being able to remember everything you read and being like, well, that was a big waste of time. I don't even remember anything. I used to be there with you, but now I remember a lot. And let me tell you why. Okay. I read a book that was called, this is a book I found. I was at the Goodwill, or it was actually called Deseret Industries, the DI that's in Utah, but it's a thrift store. And I was looking for books to read because, one of my mentors, Tom Kroll's like, you need to read. So I was like, okay, fine. So I was at the thrift store and I saw this book on the shelf. It was like a light from heaven shined on this book. I'm telling you, there were hundreds and thousands of books, but I just saw this one. Okay. And it was called the Majesty of Books. And I was like, whoa, what is this book? So actually, I have it on my bookshelf. Let me go grab it really quick. So check this out. So a light shined on this book, and I was like, well, what the heck is this book right here? And it's called, again, The Majesty of Books. So what is this book? It's pretty much a guy who just loved to read, not just a random guy, right? He was a very successful businessman, entrepreneur, but he just loved to read. And he goes in and he outlines all the top books that he recommends that people read. So I was like, well, awesome. And not only does he outline all the books that he thinks people should read out of reading I think he said he read over 940 books in like 30 years. So it's like 30 plus books a year. He wrote down like all the things that he learned and like what you can do to master reading and pulling stuff out of the books you read. So I read this book, I've marked it, and I'm trying to give you guys some of this information so you can unleash this superpower. Okay. So anyway, here's some tips from that book, The Majesty of Books, where I saw the light of heaven shine down on it. And I'm going to tell you what I read. So you guys don't even have to read the whole book. You should. It's a good book, and good luck finding it. It's really old. It's from like the 70s. But anyway, here's some tips. So the main thing that I learned from reading this book is the guy says, get an idea book. I was like, what the heck is an idea book? Okay. And I'm about to explain what an idea book is. An idea book is you take all the books that you're reading, just like he had done. He showed me what books to read. Take all the books that you're reading and you write down, like obviously which ones you're reading. It's obvious. And then what you do is as you're reading, you write down the ideas that you're getting from the book, like your favorite ideas, your favorite thoughts, and you're writing these down. So what is this becoming? This is becoming a paper memory for you. This is becoming something where you don't always have to remember, but you can go back at any time and read through and say, oh, I was reading this book called Pathways to Perfection. It talks about how being a teacher, how this is about Jesus Christ. It says Jesus Christ, the greatest teacher ever, never wrote. That's very impressive. If you guys know Jesus Christ, I'm sure you do. he never wrote anything, or at least I'm sure he did, but we don't have the records. Most of all the writings in the Bible, New Testament, are of people's like scripture, people like remembering what Jesus Christ did, but he didn't write those things. And that's not the records we have. So anyway, that's a really cool thing that I don't even remember reading until right now. So anyway, you write down your ideas from the books you read and from the best books you read, and then it becomes a paper memory. And subconsciously, everything you read gets stuck in your head. But if you can write your ideas down, then you can read through here. And instead of having to read the Pathways of Perfection or the Majesty of Books all the way through, I can go through here and just go get my favorite ideas that came from me reading it at that specific time. Okay. So anyway, that's what an idea book is. And I already have 4 of them. This is my second one. I just finished my third. It's in my other room. And this is my 4th. And I'll explain a little bit more about them to you guys. So basically what I'm doing is I'm getting all the best ideas from people that have mastered specific skill sets, and I'm writing them down so I can, the things that stand out to me most, I'm writing them down. Okay, so the idea book is the key to remembering more of what you read. So what is it and how do you do it? So I already kind of explained what the idea book is. Now I'm going to show you like how you use the idea book. All right. So step number 1 is you pick a book to read. All right. There it is. You got it. You pick a book to read. Okay. Step number 2 is you mark helpful things with a pencil in the book. The guy in here, Sterling Sill, he says you should never read a book without a pencil in your hand. Why? Because what he recommends is always marking down your thoughts, marking down specific sentences that you like. I never used to do this, and I would always be like, well, why do I need a hard copy? Well, it's because so you can mark stuff down and you remember it more. So that's just one additional way to remember more. Okay, so you get your pencil and you can mark specific topics that you're reading, right? So boom, just mark it with a pencil. That's step number 2. Okay, so get yourself a pencil, number 2 pencil. If you can't afford one, you can go get one from, I'm sure someone will hook you up with a pencil. You can message me. I'll send you 10 cents. I don't know how much pencils are. But so you mark with a pencil. So then you're going to sit and you're going to mark with a pencil, and you're going to choose what to use in your life. I'm sure anything that you mark down you want to use in your life, but you're going to choose, okay? So out of what you choose, that what you want to use in your life, you're going to put your favorite ideas that you've marked in the idea book. Look, I've marked a ton of stuff in this book. I can't write it all down in my idea book. I take my favorite ideas and I put my favorite ideas in my idea book, okay? And as you can see, guys, I have 4 of these so far. I've been doing this for a little while now, and I'm putting my ideas in my idea book. That's it, okay? This process isn't that hard, all right? So once you put your favorite ideas in your idea book, what do? Okay, you go a little step further, right? You review and you memorize the most exciting ideas. So what do I do at the end of one of my idea books? I review it and I say, okay, out of all the ideas that I got from this, out of studying all these books and learning from all these great minds of the universe and the world, which ones do I want to memorize? So I take specific quotes, I take specific messages, and I write them in what I call my book of memorization, okay? So what the heck is a book of memorization? It's just a book that you want to remember specific quotes, where you want to remember the quotes from. So how do I memorize these things? I used to not think I was good at memorizing stuff. I was like, man, I got a terrible memory. No, that's not true for anything in life. You're not bad at anything. You probably just don't spend enough time doing it. So in the book of memorization, what I do is I just read the quotes that I want to learn every day. Okay. So I've filtered through a process of taking the highest knowledge, the best information I can by marking it and then putting it in my idea book, and then committing to putting the idea book, the thoughts from my idea book into my book of memorization, and then I read them every day. Okay. So let me read you some of these good quotes that I have, and let's see if I'll tell you why, like, I'm memorizing these. Okay. And I've already done, this is my my second idea book. So I've already done probably like 140 quotes. And I know it's crazy, but I've memorized like 140 things. And I've never thought I could do that. These are like scriptures, proverbs, quotes, just good things. All right. Anyway, I'm not gonna like. I was gonna like start memorizing them to you, but I don't have to prove you that I memorize them. Just believe me. Okay, so this is a good one. This is from a book called Demons by Fyodor Dostoevsky, which I think is awesome. He said, "Every minute, every instant of life ought to be a blessing to man." Okay, that's a good quote I want to memorize. This is something from Isaiah in the Old Testament. I really like this quote or this scripture. It says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." Okay, I agree. God's thoughts are higher than our thoughts. He's in heaven. I'm on earth. So heaven's higher than the earth. Yes, there. I would agree. I like this one. The writer does the most who gives the reader the most knowledge and takes from him the least. So when I can get like a really good amount of knowledge or I would say when I read something and it doesn't take a lot of my time, I'm grateful because I'm like, oh, that was really good. I didn't have to read like a whole book. So I like that quote. Brevity is the soul of wit. That's by Shakespeare. Brevity is the soul of wit. That's really good. Effective, interesting writing is a skill you can master. Good habits are the soul's muscles. Okay, you want to have some giant muscles for your soul. It's good habits. So anyway, guys, I'm just writing. I've taken things out of my idea book and I put them into my book of memorization, and I just read them every day. And that's how you memorize stuff, guys. Like this is the process of what I'm showing you is literally how you memorize things. You read it, you write it with a pencil, you mark it, you write down your favorite ideas in your book of idea book. Then you say, hey, I'm going to review and memorize this stuff. You write it down. So you've written this stuff down at least twice by now. You've marked it, wrote it down twice, and now you're reading it and committing to reading it every day. This is another good one. Actions always trail a thought. So if you guys are like, well, hey, why does my life suck? I'm not saying you're saying that, but if you're like wondering that and you think your life sucks, it says this quote would be good for you. Actions always trail thoughts. Okay, so if you're I messed up the quote. Actions always trails a thought. Okay, so what that means is if you're thinking negative thoughts all the time, your actions are going to trail that negative thought. So if your life isn't what you want it to be, it's usually probably because your thoughts aren't aligned with what you want. Change your thoughts, be positive, don't speak negatively out loud, and your thoughts will and your actions will follow. I'll give you one more. I love all these. I think these are always good. This is funny. Don't forget faster than you learn. And that's why I'm trying to show you guys this. This is a superpower right here. If you forget faster than you can learn, good luck. Good luck in life. You know, you're pretty much just wasting your time. So anyway, once you mark your favorite ideas in your idea book and then you put them in your book of memorization and you read them every day, obviously I've gone through my idea book and I cannot write every single thing in here and commit it to memory yet. Maybe over time you can do anything you want in this life if you believe. But step 6 is for the rest of the things you do not memorize, stamp them deep into your subconscious, stamp them deeply into your memory. So all the things that I did not I did not memorize, I can still say, okay, this is very good. I'm not going to write down, but I want to remember this. And your subconscious, I'm telling you, I read a book called The Secret of the Ages. It's proven that like everything we learn is like in our subconscious mind. Okay. So it's not like on the forefront, like we don't always remember, but if we've learned it, we will remember. It's like back there. Our brains can do so many amazing things. And that's why like learning is so amazing, because learning helps you, even if you don't feel it, you're progressing. So guys, these are the steps on how to use reading to be a superpower. Now, if you're like, hey, Nate, I don't want to do all that crap. This sounds like way too much work. I'll just read a book from start to finish. That's better than nothing, right? But I'm telling you, after researching and like studying a lot about a guy that read over 940 books in 30 years and how he committed a bunch of this stuff to memory, and he wrote a book specifically about what books to read and how to read and actually memorize and study and make this a superpower. I'm giving you guys the sauce from a guy who spent his whole life reading. And what does this have to do with wholesaling and real estate? Guys, if you could read 10 books on wholesaling, 10 books on real estate, 10 books on finance, whatever, you would be better at that business, better at your job than you would if you didn't learn from people who have mastered that part of the business, mastered that in their lives. Like people dedicate their lives to writing books after book after book after like finance or something they've mastered, and you're able to go, instead of having to learn all that all on your own, you can go learn from that person that wrote down all his best traits, all the best things that he's faced, or his autobiography, whatever he's writing. You can go learn from him instead of having to go learn all this on your own. Okay, that's the beautiful thing about books and learning and reading. And I know there's videos, like this is a video, right? And I know a lot of you are like, well, I'd rather just watch it. There's something about reading, having a physical book. Forget the phone, right? Like obviously that's better than nothing. You can read on the phone, but if you can hold it, if you can smell it, ooh, that smells like a good book. If you can really just, this means more, especially there's something that happens in our brain. I don't know like scientifically how it works, but like if you can hold it, feel it, then write it down. Like it's just something happens where it releases like dopamine or endorphins or something where we are able to remember it better. I promise you, because I used to not remember much. But now because of my book, my idea books and my book memorization, like I said, I have like over 100 quotes memorized. Okay, if you want to call me out on it and let's say, hey, prove it. Maybe, oh, sorry, girl. If you want to say prove it, maybe I can prove it one day. Okay, maybe we can do a video of me just standing here for 30 minutes to an hour, just quoting, doing, saying quotes from. I'm sorry, it's very hard to focus with my little girl, my dog right here, just wanting some pets. Anyway, all right, Rue. I know you want this video to be over. We're almost done. So, guys, this is my call to action for you right now. Now, go and read what you want to achieve. If you want to become something, we good? All right, we're almost done. So now go and read what you want to achieve, anything you want to achieve in life. You want to be the best high diver in the world? Go read about it. Go read about the techniques. If you want to be a good businessman, go read about it. If you want to be a good dog handler and figure out how to work with dogs and love them and treat them good, go read a book about dogs. I'm sure you could be the best dog handler in the world. But if you want to be a wholesaler, there's tons of good books out there, good books on finance. There's good books on like how to structure deals, good books on how to negotiate, good books on how to run your business. The book, no, I'm not going to start naming books. But if you guys want the top books that I recommend for entrepreneurs and wholesalers and people that are looking to get in real estate investing, just comment on this video and I will send you guys, I have a list of all of my favorite books. So just comment and I will send you my link. It's like a Google Doc that I'll share with you. If you're interested in that, just do that and I will send you my link. So I hope this was helpful, guys. If you like what I have to say, I know this is a little outside of like real estate investing and like answering specific questions about investing, but I believe if you can master, studying and learning from others through books, like you'll be successful in any venture that you're in, any business, especially wholesaling. But this is a little different, right? But books are the key to success in life. If you read and you study, you're going to be successful spiritually and physically. I promise you. That's how it is. Education and wisdom, we were able to take that. I got a quote for you. It says, what is it? Intelligence is the ability to use knowledge with wisdom. If you want to be intelligent, you need to be able to use knowledge and wisdom together. And where are you able to get that knowledge and wisdom? From books, especially, I believe, the scriptures. But hey, we'll leave it at that. All right, everybody, have a good one. Hopefully this was a helpful training. Peace out, everybody.